As Secretary of Education, De Vos is expected to be a major booster for charter schools, which are publicly funded but operate like private businesses. It's up to the states to regulate them and figure out which ones are successful. But in Louisiana, where charters proliferated after Hurricane Katrina, the state is still learning how to tell the good schools from the bad.
Come on, boo-boo. Have you brushed your teeth? Have you fixed your hair? Have you put on your shoes? Have you tied them?
No.
Are y'all ready? It's time to go. Let's move it.
Stacey Ante has 3 boys.
Let's go get your bag.
All of them have severe dyslexia.
Water bottle.
Not too long ago, she wasn't sure whether her oldest, Coleman, would ever be able to comfortably read a book.
In kindergarten, I noticed something was just a little bit different with him. He couldn't rhyme. If you would say, rhyme something with bat, he'd come back with tab. Right there, in the tub. His teachers would just say, oh, he's a boy, he'll get it. He failed first grade, so he had to repeat. And he would come home and he would say, Mom, why am I stupid? Nobody else in my class is stupid, I don't understand. You can't do that.
In 2013, she enrolled Coleman at a charter school called Louisiana Key Academy, which was founded to teach students with dyslexia. At the time, it was a gamble. The school had just opened.
Bye, I love y'all, have a great day.
Has there been a big difference between his previous school and the school that he's at now?
Absolutely. He came home after the first week and he said, Mom, there's this little boy and he has trouble reading, and then there's this little girl and she has trouble reading too, and they're just like me. I fit in there.
Coleman? Number one. So let's read number 1 again. Ready?
Since enrolling, Coleman has learned to read, thanks in large part to the resources Key Academy offers.
Final stable syllables are
never accented.
So how are we going to code every single one of these?
With an arc.
Its 300 students are taught in small groups where they learn how to decode the English language and get one-on-one tutoring with language therapists.
Say it for me one more time, please.
Consist.
The school is full of stories like Coleman's.
It's just remarkable to see the difference that it's made in him. He thinks that he is just the greatest thing on the face of the earth, which is what all children should feel like.
But this past December, the state threatened to close the school. In Louisiana, new charter schools need to prove in their 3rd year that they deserve to have their charter license renewed. And Louisiana Key Academy got an F on its assessment.
What about the 1st and 2nd graders?
They're going to be able to stay?
Great.
And
yes.
For Dr. Laura Cassidy, one of Key Academy's founders, this was hard to hear. What went through your mind when you learned that the school got an F on the state assessment?
To me, you're saying our kids are stupid, or you're saying our teachers aren't doing their job, which I don't believe either is true.
In Louisiana, schools that teach grades 1 through 8 are judged almost entirely by how they perform on a state standardized test. For children with dyslexia, timed tests designed for students without learning disabilities are daunting. Do you feel like the way in which the school was assessed then might not be fair because of the specialization of the school?
Yes, definitely. It is stressful for them and the teachers. And then when they fail, what do you tell the parents, the kids, and the teachers? Because it is not really indicative
Do
of
you
our...
wish that they would do away with the grade system
No,
on the whole?
No, absolutely not. I think accountability is huge.
The dilemma facing both the school and Louisiana's Department of Education is a problem that looms over charter school systems throughout the country. Since 1992, when charters were first introduced, they've grown quickly in popularity. But families don't always know what they're signing up for, because charter schools propose their own rules and curricula, and have much more discretion than traditional public schools about how they use federal funds.
Yes, I think it's going to be cold.
The problem is compounded by the fact that there's no universal standard of what actually makes a charter good. Accountability varies not just by state, but across different school authorities in the same state.
There's a big question, which is who gets to decide what makes a good school? There's a lot that parents can't see. It's hard to know whether your kid is being served as well in this school as he might be in a different school down the street. There is a risk that when we start bending on the ways that we evaluate school quality, that any school can make a claim that its own students are kind of different or harder to educate in some way.
Is there a nightmare scenario with states allowing specialized schools to dictate how they're being assessed?
So some would say that the nightmare scenario is that the state essentially loses control and will just allow schools to say, well, we'll decide what is a true measure of whether or not we're performing well.
When Louisiana's Department of Education saw that Key Academy had gotten an F, it wasn't sure what to do.
A lot of people first said, well, clearly they're not meeting the standards that we usually use to evaluate a regular school. But it's not a regular school.
James Garvey has been the president of Louisiana's Board of Elementary and Secondary Education since January of 2016. He likes to call the state's charter school system a learning process.
Every parent that I talk to say it is producing fantastic results, especially compared to regular public school.
The board also consulted dyslexia experts, who felt the school was helping its students in ways other schools couldn't. 2 weeks ago, the state agreed to try a different form of assessment. Students at Key Academy will still have to take the regular standardized test, but they'll also take 4 other tests that are specifically designed for children with dyslexia. Until the state says otherwise, the school will remain on probation.
If the students do as well as the parents have been saying they're doing, then the school will probably do well in the evaluation and get to continue on for another 5-year renewal.
And if not?
If not, then we will probably shut it down.
It could be another 3 years before the state reassesses Key Academy. By that time, Coleman will be getting ready for high school.
The birth of a baby is a joyful time. My dog is shaggy and lazy, but she is loyal.
When he started the school, he wouldn't read to anybody. I mean, I know he's very monotoned and he's very, but it's amazing. So I'm sorry. It's really amazing.
Why are you so emotional?
I watched you struggle, so the fact that you can do it now is just beyond words.
Okay, Mom, it's okay.